I think Mr. Sushantapati is there.
Yes, sir. Good
Uh,
afternoon to all of you.
yes.
Am I audible,
Good
sir?
afternoon. You are welcome. Yes, yeah,
You are
you
Am
are
I
audible,
audible.
audible, sir?
audible.
Yes, thank you. The title of my paper is Impact of Digital Systems in COVID-19 Pandemic and Challenges in the Post-Pandemic World. During this pandemic period, people, organizations, institutions all over the world maintain the news of work and life. We explore possible scenarios of the digital systems that arise. When a new COVID-19 pandemic, strikes, the first question on everyone's mind is if there's a vaccine to prevent it. The world is now desperate to find ways to slow down the spread of the coronavirus and to find an effective treatment. In this present situation, the influence of digitalization is very high. Technology is becoming an enabler to make the process faster. This virus outbreak had changed almost everything. For example, stock markets have crashed. Airlines are experiencing irreparable losses, and several small and medium businesses are shutting shops because they do not have it takes to survive in this uncertain world. As this pandemic keeps threatening the business world, working from home ensures business continuity as well as facilitates social distancing. In such a scenario, technologies that enable secure access to data, enterprise applications, virtual meetings, cloud conferencing, and virtual reality are forefront leaders to ensure deliverables are not impacted. Remote working is a blessing are not impacted. Yes, working is a blessing that comes due to technology and is one of the greatest solutions that help us in social distancing. The regulation of the internet is a key source and will be crucial post-pandemic world. In case of pandemic management, big data analytics can help in quickly identifying infected individuals, connect with them, track who they have come in contact with, and so on. If we talk about facial recognition along with data can accurately identify people, can if they are masked, such technologies can help in monitoring movement and tracking of people who are actually quarantined. It can also help in keeping a tab on people and ascertaining whether or not they have been in contact with an infected person. This type of technology, can help in identifying infected people who break the rules and step out despite being quarantined. As we move on to contactless systems like self-driving cars or drones, robots, in developed countries, can all help at a time when the need is to avoid human communication. Autonomous vehicles can be used to transport affected people to find and from healthcare facilities with, laws without risking the lives of healthy people. Drones can be used for food deliveries, tracking population, carrying test kits and medicines to quarantine locations, thermal imaging to identify infected people, spraying disinfectant, and more. Another important factor, surveillance is distinctive product of the modern world. Nowadays, we are living in a surveillance society where any internet-based activity using a mobile phone or other electronic gadgets can be monitored and accessed in unfathomable ways. Matters of surveillance and privacy are achieving prominence with digital usage during periods. Commentators like Yuval Harari has written about the potential for state surveillance. The work of Harari is actually under skin. Harari actually basically 2020 as governments rely on digital means to monitor the spread of the pandemic. Digital learning is leading the change as the mainstay and many new trends and picking up to maintain across the world. Multidisciplinary and modular pedagogy that afford transferable skills and customized sharing will succeed. Post-pandemic times meant of e-learning and mainstream face-to-face teaching with a boost from traditional university and the e-tech sector. The digital meeting was to co-facilitate and co-chairs of WHO Digital Health Technical Advisory Group. Now comes to the aims of digital meeting are first of all introduce WHO's, that is the World Health Organization, digital health and innovation efforts for COVID-19 and seek support from interested technology companies in the design and execution of these initiatives, build on WHO's COVID-19 efforts through new collaboration and knowledge, sharing to deliver targeted solutions through a coordinated effort to support countries facing stages of this epidemic in different ways and different times. And next, secure volunteer and pro bono resources from global tech companies to design and executive response initiatives with WHO. And next, finally, actually, I am concluding today, the greatest risk catastrophe is pandemic, an enormously infectious virus that's more devastating. The transparency that we have acquired through this current COVID-19 situation, we now understand that we are not geared for this pandemic situation. This next pandemic is not a matter of if it, quote unquote, if it happens, but when it happens, would be we are prepared in advance against the pandemic at an individual and collective level. You know, what we actually is preparedness. Indeed, the technology has advanced more and will continue to advance exponentially, but the human institutions and societies need to accelerate in adapting to it and continue investing in technology systems for the preparedness. It is evident that all the technology innovations are helping to manage the epidemic, can better equip to fight future public health emergency in a timely, systematic, and tranquil mind. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sushantopati.